Gilda's Club is a not-for-profit that provides support to people who have had cancer journeys or families of people who have had cancer journeys. There are 2 in Canada, and we are very fortunate here in Barrie to have one of them.
Everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to really experience the cancer journey themselves. There's fear, there's a lot of treatment often, and some of the treatment isn't that great, I have to tell you. There are side effects from chemo. Your immune system often is depressed, and maybe you don't have to do everything, but there's quite a journey. So the benefit of being able to reach out to Gilda's is that you'll know that you aren't going to be turned away. And because everybody experiences this journey in a different way, some people are very frightened, others are determined as all get out, which was my camp, and others are it's just an unknown situation.
In our industry, in the hair industry, we share a lot of stories with our clients. And I had several people that were sharing with me, as I'm in a hands-on industry, and when you touch people, they have a tendency to open up and to share little bits of their life. And it seemed to be recurring that I was constantly hearing about people's plights with cancer and their journeys, whether it be a family member or a friend or themselves. And felt like I wanted to be able to make a difference, and knowing that Gilda's Club provided support free of charge to people. Even during the pandemic, they provided online support to people, that it felt really important that I do something. When I was on a plane returning back from Nova Scotia with my husband, when these women across the aisle were very inspired and they were celebrating something quite clearly, and I asked them what it was, because I wanted to have whatever they were having and feel whatever they were feeling. And when they said that they had just raised several $1,000s for breast cancer awareness by doing a naked calendar, I had a light bulb moment. And so that's when I turned to my husband and said, we could do that.
Nearly 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. I'm still here, which is really quite something, thanks to all the professional care that I've received, and of course all the incredible support. I met Sharon several years ago, and I finally decided that I would have my hair cut. And it was really quite a deal, because after having lost my hair twice, I didn't want to really just let my hair go wild. I wanted it to be treated with tender, loving care. And when I sat down in this chair and told Sharon my story, because Sharon has a way of getting everyone to tell them all their stories, she told me that she was interested in doing a calendar project, which is the calendar project that I was involved in, because I told Sharon I was an English teacher and I was a writer, and that I could probably help her by writing a poem for the calendar. So this is where it all started those many years ago, and this is where it all continues.
Cancer doesn't wait until it's convenient to strike, and I just bought a business, and 5 months later was diagnosed with 2 different kinds of breast cancer. I've survived. Now we're 8 years strong, so I've survived that. And when we were talking about the calendar, Sharon said to me, "You wouldn't want to be a model, would you?" And I immediately felt shy, which is not really me, but I did. And I said, sure, if I can have one of my puppies sitting here and one of my puppies sitting here, so I would preserve my modesty, for what it's worth. And because I knew my photographer, another volunteer, who was Laura Joy from Laura Joy Photography, and there are a ton of them. There are really dedicated people who offer their services for free. But she was brilliant, because she not only dealt with me kind of feeling a little nervous about being draped as a Grecian model with a sheet, kind of, but also 2 dogs, one of whom was fairly chill, so he just stayed and held my hand, and the other one who was actually facing a cancer operation herself and was on a lot of Benadryl. So she was a little bit hyped, and she kept wandering around the studio, and I thought, we're never going to get this shot. But she laid down, and if you look at the first calendar, I miss April. And Belle the dog was laying down, and Laura got the shot. It was just amazing.
At the time of my treatment, I did not know about Gilda's Club that was in Barrie, just around the corner from RVH. I think it was just cancer makes you very insulated, and unless somebody actually talks to you about Gilda's Club, it's sometimes difficult to connect with it. So over the years, I've come to learn obviously a lot about Gilda's Club and what services it offers. And as a volunteer at RVH before the COVID pandemic hit, I also was able to help spread the word of Gilda's as one of the PPAC, or Patient and Family Advisory Council members. I was able to wheel a cart of resources that are available to cancer patients through the chemo suite. And I must say, I've learned an awful lot about the service, Gilda's Club, and I'm a strong advocate and supporter of it. It's a wonderful resource, and I think it's been a vital lifeline for so many people that I've met in our community who are fighting cancer. I may not have known about Gilda's Club, but I was familiar with Gilda Radner and really appreciated the fact that she saw cancer from a different perspective, was able to see the power of healing through laughter. It just all makes sense to me that she now has an organization called Gilda's Club.
The calendars are still available for purchase either at Gilda's Club, Simcoe, Muskoka, or here at Connect Hair Studio. The Raw and Reflective calendar is a way to honor the models and the journeys that they have shared with us, and hopefully to empower others and to make others feel like they're not alone, hoping to inspire and encourage and provide also a living legacy to the models that are featured in our calendar.